UFC Moicano versus Duncan. I'm going to be giving my full card picks, breakdowns, predictions, all that stuff. But first, last week, I did go 7-5. Not sure if you guys want to count that draw, even though Giannis did win. But I did get three underdogs right. Got Casey O'Neill at plus 115 when she flipped to an underdog for that day. And then I got Yusri at plus 120. And then I got Alexa at plus 160. So I got those three underdogs. Went 7-5, even though I should have got four underdogs because Giannis did win the fight. But and I did end up pick flipping on the Brunner Brazil and Alexa Thainaro fight. I really don't give a fuck because Brunner Brazil, she did put up a good fight. She almost knocked out Thainaro with that kick in the third round. Yeah, I don't care, man. She was plus 500, and I put a little bit down on her because if she would have won, she had a good chance at winning. She almost did with that fucking head kick. I mean, that head kick would have knocked out anybody else, man. Thainaro has a real chin on her, and yeah, I don't care. I still went positive. Still got three underdogs right, even though Giannis did get robbed. And I know a lot of other channels only got one underdog, which was Casey O'Neill, and she was only an underdog for a day when she ended up flipping back to a favorite. So, yeah, I got three underdogs, still went positive. So get off my dick. I'm still better than all these other people. But straight into it. First pick is going to be Melissa Gatto, also my first underdog on this card. She's 5'5". She's orthodox. She has a 69-inch reach, so she has 3 inches on Barbosa. She has a really good jab. She's a good striker, high volume. She has good ground and pound when she can get you down. She just has a lot more volume. She trains at Bellato's gym, and she also does train with Bellato. She has a really good ground game, and she can lay on you. She has really good pressure. She can control you. Good in the clinch. She beat Carol Rosa at 135 back in 2018 by first round Kimura. She has really good cardio. Can go 3 rounds no problem. She arguably could have beat Lipsky, who hits harder and is pretty good, compared to Barbosa. Lipsky's pretty well-rounded everywhere, especially, with her punches. She hits really fucking hard. And Gatto pushes a really, really high pace. And not only that, but her ground game can match Barbosa's. And, I've never seen Gatto panic shoot for a takedown, but I have seen Barbosa because she does fade. And, like I said, Gatto's 2 recent fights have been in the Apex. She's coming back to the Apex. And she can match Barbosa everywhere. Striking, ground game, everything. And, Barbosa, 3-inch reach disadvantage. She does have a good jab. She has judo. She sparred Cyborg before. She fades in the big cage, so in the Apex, it could be sus. I don't know. And she's kind of low fight IQ. Because in her fight against Miranda Maverick, she did pull guard against her, which is like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you pulling guard against Miranda Maverick? And she was also getting outstruck by Miranda Maverick. And Miranda Maverick's 5'3", and she has a 65-inch reach compared to Gatto's 69. And I think Gatto's a better striker than Miranda Maverick, even though she does have good striking. And she does have a really good way of taking the back. It's really fast and sneaky. But she couldn't hold down Miranda Maverick. She couldn't hold down Carini. She lost to Josiane Nunes way back then in 2019 by knockout. She does fade, like I said. I don't know how the Apex is going to be. But when she fought Ernesta, she was panic shooting against her in the third round. I'm just saying what I saw from my tape study. And I could see her, like, if she fought Lipsky in the Apex, I could definitely see Barbosa panic shooting against her. And Gatto didn't do that at all, so Yeah, I don't know, but Barbosa loses to girls that can match her on the ground, and Gato can match her everywhere. So Gato's gonna win this Saturday. Next pick, I'm picking Bekaev. Trayshawn Gore's fucking trash. Zero gas tank, zero output. He throws very little volume. I mean, he will shoot some takedowns, but that's it. Bekaev has, what, like 3 times as much experience. He's just way better everywhere. Has knockout power, has a ground game, everything. Bekaev's a lock here. And, Bekaev just fought Bill Gorey. And I picked Bill Gorey on Saturday. Cashed. Let's go. But, yeah, he put up a good fight against Bill Gorey the first 2 rounds. He's tough as fuck. He was landing some good power shots on Bill Gorey, but, the height difference gave him a lot of problems. But, Trayshawn Gore's his height, it's a perfect matchup for him. So Bekaev is a high confident pick here. He's gonna win for sure. My next pick and my next underdog on this card is Haley Cowan. She's 5'8". She has a record of 5-2 in the LFA. 5 wins, 2 losses. I like that experience a lot here. She went to a decision with Jamie Lynn Horth, which she arguably could have won. And I know it says unanimous, but that should have been a split. Going into the 3rd round, even the live odds had Haley as the favorite. She gave her a really good fight, landed good strikes, good takedowns, had some control. She has really good judo throws. She was in gymnastics. She's 34 years old, has a 67-inch reach. She's really fucking strong. She's good in the clinch, and she has really good top control when she's on top. And she has some ground control where she can keep you there. She won the 1st round against Nora Cornell, and Nora Cornell came out in the 2nd round and subbed her. But it's not a bad loss. Nora Cornell's UFC level compared to Alice Pereira. And Haley's southpaw, so I feel like that's gonna give Alice Pereira a lot of trouble here. She's very inexperienced compared to Haley. Haley's a good grappler. She has more experience, and she put up a really good fight with Jamie. I like that a lot. She has good trips. She can fight at a high pace, especially one where it's like a bunch of grappling. And Haley's really durable. She did eat some shots against Jamie. She even got cut, was bleeding. And she's used to the small cage. She's fought in the Apex a good amount of times. She has good takedowns even when... So I think this is an obvious pick for me. Haley Cowan's going to win. Alice Pereira has no LFA or any fights like that, or, any known promotions. She trains at Ravina Oliveira's gym, the girl that just got knocked out last weekend or the weekend before. She started her pro first fight, or she had her first pro fight in August, or on August 18, 2023, versus a fighter with a record of 0-1. She's very low output. She's 20 years old. She has no ground game or sub game. Very low experience. She does have a 71-inch reach advantage here. This is her first time in the Apex cage, which is a very big disadvantage. She got tired in the big cage. I'm pretty sure she's going to get tired in the small cage. All of her wins are to, just a bunch of trash cans. She lost to Rendon, who doesn't have any LFA or anything like that. And her cardio's sus, and she doesn't use her reach at all. So Haley Cowan's going to win this Saturday. Next pick, I'm going Lando. Both these guys are very, very inactive. But I am going to go with Lando. He has UFC experience. He's 4-7 in UFC, if I remember correctly. He's very durable. Put up a really good fight against Zell Huber, and arguably could have won the 3rd round, which I'm pretty sure he did because he outlanded him. And he was really, really badly hurt in that fight in the 1st round. And Lando, Has multiple fights of the night in the UFC, even has a performance bonus. Like I said, he's 4-7. Darius has 0 wins in the UFC, 0-3, and sus cardio. And I don't know, man. This is a weird one, but even if Darius hurts Lando and rocks him or gets him down or whatever, he's gonna burn himself out, and Lando's gonna come back and win anyway. So Lando's gonna win. This is another weird one, but Alessandro Costa is gonna win this one. He's a better fighter, more UFC experience. Stuart Nickel lost to Jesus Aguilar, and I got Jesus Aguilar right in that one as an underdog. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but got it right. And yeah, just not impressed with Nickel. Alessandro has everything, the striking and UFC experience on his side. He's only 30 years old, and yeah, I'm going Costa, man. Just not impressed with Nickel, and there's so many fucking red flags with him. I'm gonna go with Costa. My next pick and my next underdog on this card, Robert Ruchala. He's 5'8". I know it says he's 5'10" there, but he's actually 5'8". He's training with Gamrot, so his wrestling's on point. He's 27 years old. He's a KSW champion, 72-inch reach, so he has a 2-inch advantage here. He was at American Top Team, and he sparred Dustin Poirier 20 rounds when Dustin was preparing for his fight against Max Holloway. And, he beat good competition, especially fighters that have good records and that weren't padded. If you go to the fighters that he's beat, all of them beat some good competition too. And his only 2 losses are to high-level fighters. William Gomes, high-level kickboxer, has some good wins, even beat Francis Marshall and stuff like that. And he has really good takedown defense, so Ruchala was at a big disadvantage there, especially since Gomes is 6 feet. So the height was a big thing, 6 feet compared to 5'8". And not only that, but his only 2 losses, the fighters were actually taller than him. The other fighter was 5'10", and Gomes, obviously 6 feet. He got some really good takedown trips or whatever against Gomes, but he wasn't able to hold him down. But he can if the fight goes long. He's really fucking durable. He has really good clinch control. Like I said, good trips. And he was 1-1 with Gomes going into the 3rd round, but it was in France, so Gomes had the home advantage and stuff like that. But it was 1-1 going into the 3rd round for sure. He has really good pressure. That's going to be interesting for the Apex. He switches stances a lot. He has really good striking. He's 8-1 in KSW. He has really good leg kicks. And he has a really good sneaky high kick that he actually hurt Gomes with in the 3rd round. And like I said, he won the 2nd round for sure. So it was 1-1 going into that 3rd round. But when he hurt him with that head kick, who knows, man? He arguably could have stole the 3rd round. But since they were in France, the judges are obviously going to give it to the French guy. And not only that, but one more thing about Ruchala, the opponents that he's beat, 2 of those recent fighters recently won titles in different promotions. Like one of them won a title in KSW in November 2025. And another guy that he beat recently won a title somewhere else in another promotion. So, the people that he's beaten, all of them are on a win streak right now. All of them are doing really good. All of them are you even got some of them winning titles. And you go to Jose Delano, he's beating trash cans, man. All the people that he's beat on the regional scene, in LFA, because he was in LFA, I think. Let me make sure. Yeah, he's 6-1, has a record of 6-1 in the LFA compared to Ruchala 8-1 in KSW. And KSW does have the higher level of MMA competition. But Jose Delano, some stuff about him. He trains at Brazilian Top Team. His recent wins are to fighters that have padded records. If you actually go to their records and stuff, they're beating nothing but fucking trash cans. I know one guy that he fought hadn't fought in like almost 2 years or something like that. And they're just really fucking bad, man. Compared to Ruchala beating really good competition, and the people that he's beat don't have padded records. And so Jose Delano, his recent losses to Gabriel Santos. Gabriel Santos was fucking him up, chewing his leg up with a leg kick, and eventually hurt him to the body, knocked him out in the third round. And Delano has good takedown defense. He has good movement, mid power. It's not like he's a big power puncher. He is southpaw. Doesn't really have a front body kick, which was giving Ruchala a lot of problems because Gomes has that front teep kick to the body that was it was giving Ruchala a lot of problems. And Delano switches. He stance switches a lot also, like Ruchala, so it's gonna be very interesting. He can go 3 rounds. He does have high volume, but every fighter that he beat in the LFA, because he does have a record of 6-1, 6 wins, 1 loss in the LFA. Every fighter he beat in the LFA didn't even have 1 win in the LFA. Most of them, or not all of them, my bad, all of them were 0-1 in the LFA when he fought him. He fought a trash can on on Dana White's Contender Series, and Manuelito or some shit like that. Dude is fucking trash. He's just a wrestler, very low output. Um, if Delano fought Gomes, he definitely would have lost also. And Delano doesn't shoot any takedowns at all. He does, but on the Contender Series, he didn't shoot any at all. He was just defending them most of the time. And Delano, to me, isn't proven. Yeah, I know he won a title back in the day, on the regional scene, but if you look at who he beat for the title, it's nothing but trash cans also. Because one guy lost to Timmy Kawamba, and, Timmy's not that, he's good, but he's not that great. So, Delano's competition, his level, I don't think it's higher than Ruchala. Ruchala's better, definitely the better fighter, more well-rounded, has good takedowns, has good striking, and Delano's just really one-dimensional. He's just going to want to strike, and he's just high volume. That's it. So I think Ruchala can deal with that 100%. He's seen it before. And yeah, Ruchala's going to win this Saturday. Next pick, I'm going Guilherme Pat. He started karate at 13. He's 31. He did get taken down a lot on the regional scene, but he gets right back up. That's what I like. He will get back up. He doesn't stay on the ground. He has an 81-inch reach compared to Thomas Peterson's 74. It's a crazy, crazy advantage. He's 6'5", Guilherme Pat, and he does come in around 238, 240. He has sus takedown defense, but he does have a really good get-up game. And he has been working on his takedowns a lot. He has good, powerful leg kicks. And his last fight was in the Apex, so he's coming back to the Apex. Guilherme Pat has a really, really good power jab. It does do a lot of damage, and he does go to the body. He will throw some body shots sometimes. He does get controlled against the cage, but he does end up reversing it or eventually getting out of it. The Apex cage could give him some problems just because he likes to, he does have good movement, but his footwork does need some work. He's showing massive improvements every single fight. And he 30-27 his last opponent, who had a really good fucking chin because he was cracking him. And I feel like the shots that Guilherme Pat was landing on Aaron Fry Jr. is definitely going to put out Thomas Peterson. And he does stay powerful for the full 15 minutes. He will have his power in the third round, throwing big power shots. He's really built, like not like Thomas Peterson. Thomas Peterson kind of like has a dad build, and Guilherme Pat is over here built like a fucking Greek god. So yeah, he kind of reminds me of like a younger, inexperienced Christian Leroy Duncan at heavyweight. The way he throws, he will even like throw some front elbows that are really fucking nasty. So yeah, I feel the power here is gonna be a big fucking thing. And Thomas Peterson, 30 years old, 74-inch reach, 246. He comes in at around that weight. He's 6'1". Thomas Peterson does not eat power punches well. He got dropped in the first round by Petrino, but Peterson does have more experience. The small cage is gonna help him with the wrestling and stuff like that because he is a wrestler. He does have a wrestling background. He's fought better competition, but even if he takes Pat down, I feel like Pat is gonna get back up, and he's gonna crack Thomas Peterson and put him out. The small cage will help his. Small cage is gonna help Jeremy Pat get up, especially the fence, because that's how he gets back up most of the time. And Peterson doesn't really have much power in his punches. Not compared to Guillermo Pat. Guillermo Pat hits so fucking hard. And in Thomas Peterson's last fight, he did fight Petrino, took him to a third round, but there was a lot of fucking clinching and grappling, especially from Petrino, and I don't know why. But Pat's not gonna do that. Pat wants to knock you the fuck out, and he's gonna win this Saturday. Next fight, I'm going Tommy McMillan. He trains with Sugar Sean O'Malley. Really fucking tough, durable. And Zucchini does get hurt to the body. Hasn't fought since 2023. Not impressed at all with him. He does give up. And Tommy doesn't give up at all, man. Tommy will fight and fight and fight. But you can't really do anything here. And Zucchini's fucking trash. So, they're pretty much feeding him to Tommy. They want to get him a win. I don't know why, especially in the Apex, but Tommy's going to win. Next pick. I'm going with Ethan Ewing. They're both 5'8". Ethan just beat Malcolm Wellmaker on short notice at 145, up a weight class. And Rafael coming up to 135 because he was at 125. Recently fought Felipe Boons, who's fucking trash, and Felipe was landing some good shots on Rafael, especially in the third round because Rafael does gas. But him moving up a weight class, it could help his gas tank. But his striking is just so fucking sus. Like, I don't like it. He was getting pieced up by Jesus Aguilar, who has a 62 or 61-inch reach. He has the shortest fucking reach in the UFC. And Jesus was piecing up Esteban in the third round. But for some reason, Jesus has very low fight IQ, or maybe it's just an instinct. He would throw some strikes, and then he would try and grapple with Esteban, which is something you should, like, what the fuck are you doing? And I feel like Ethan is not going to do that. He's going to keep his distance and strike. He's going to know that Esteban's going to want to take him down. And I don't like the cardio on Esteban. He's fighting nothing but trash cans. I know he fought Charles Johnson, but that's when Charles Johnson was losing to Cody Durden and stuff like that. Charles Johnson hadn't knocked out Joshua Van then. So, I like Ethan here. He was really, really impressive his last fight, especially fighting someone bigger and up a weight class at 145. I don't think Esteban would be able to do that. So, Ethan's just a different kind of animal. Really good boxer, has power, will go for takedowns, but I think, I know he's smart enough to know not to go for takedowns here. And he's going to be stuffing them. Esteban's going to get tired. Ethan's going to finish him inside distance. That's going to be my prediction. I don't know how Ribeiro's still in the UFC, man. He's fucking trash. But I guess they think that he's some kind of gatekeeper. But, I'm going to go with Abdul here. I did get Ribeiro last year against Dior at plus 300 because I knew Dior didn't have any fucking ground game. And, Ribeiro took him down, subbed him, cashed that at plus 310, I think. Not sure, but it was 300 some. But yeah, I'm going Abdul here. Abdul doesn't have that mistake or doesn't have that flaw like Dior does with the ground game. He has a really good ground game. He's well rounded everywhere, striking, ground game, jiu-jitsu, everything. And yeah, he's probably gonna finish Ribeiro in the first. No, not the first. I say he's gonna finish Ribeiro in the second or third round. Next pick, I'm going Tabitha Ricci. I know she just beat Amanda Ribas, and I know I've been saying Amanda Ribas is washed, but the way she beat her was very, very impressive. And, Tabitha Ricci isn't beating trash cans like she did before. Tabitha Ricci's coming into her prime, and she will mix in clinch control and then strike with you again. She's really good at that. That's how she beat Jillian Robertson. And if you can beat Jillian Robertson, you can beat Verna. It's the same fucking thing, but I think Jillian does have slightly better striking than Verna. And Verna, she only managed to take Mackenzie Dern down in their last fight. Within the first 3 rounds, I think she only took her down 6 out of 12 times and was able to control her for 5 minutes. And if you're doing that to Mackenzie Dern, who has pretty shit takedown defense, I'm pretty sure Ricci's going to be fine here. She has really good takedown defense. And like I said, she beat Jillian Robertson pretty much like 30-27 her. And this isn't a 5-round fight, which is what I really like. If it was a 5-round fight, I would be picking Verna. But since it's 3 rounds, Tabitha Ricci isn't going to have to worry about the cardio. She can go 3 rounds. She has been 3 rounds. And she was mixing in grappling. She would take down Jillian Robertson, and then she'd get back up and start striking with her again and repeat. And that's exactly what she's going to do here against Verna for 3 rounds. Tabitha Ricci's going to win. My last pick and my last underdog on this card, Renato Money Moicano. Let me tell you guys why. It's real simple. It's like he's fighting another Benoit Saint Denis. But this time it is in the Apex, so that's what makes it interesting. But, what does Duncan have that Benoit Saint Denis didn't have when he fought Moicano? He had everything, the same power, same striking. And if anything, I would say Benoit Saint Denis had better wrestling at that time. So, that was a really bad matchup for Benoit Saint Denis. And it's going to be the same thing here, man. I rewatched the fight with Chris Duncan and Manuel Torres. And Chris Duncan did hurt him in the first round, but he showed me that he's very low fight IQ. I don't know why you're trying to take down Manuel Torres, especially if you have him hurt. And instead he goes in and he tries to grapple with him and gets taken down, gets his back taken, and gets subbed within a couple seconds, and that's it. And if Moicano takes your back, he's going to fuck you up, man. Manuel Torres was one of the first, or if not the most recent guy that Duncan has fought with the grappling, the jiu-jitsu that can match his. And after that, he fights Oki, trash can. Oki's good, but he doesn't have grappling or jiu-jitsu or anything. Fights Vucenic, and he was very, very, he had barely came into the UFC, very inexperienced. So that win, not good. And then he beat some, Rebecki, but Rebecki's not gonna. He's not trying to take you down. He's not trying to sub you. He wants to brawl with you. He wants to strike with you. And then Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney will rest you for a minute and get gas. He only has 1 round of cardio. So Moicano. I know he lost to Benio Dariush, but that's a very, very, very bad matchup for Moicano, and it's because of the superior wrestling that Benny has. Benny has really, really good fucking wrestling, man. in a straight wrestling match, he can beat Duncan. He can beat Moicano. Beneil Dariush has very good wrestling, and it was just a very bad matchup for him. And then he fights Islam on short notice. So, he was active in 2025, fought 2 times, fought 3 times in 2024 against Drew Dober, Jalen Turner, and somebody else. But, excuse me. But Moicano has fought dangerous strikers before. He has fought fighters like Duncan. And Duncan hasn't fought anybody like Moicano yet. It's literally like Moicano versus Benoit Saint Denis all over again. And he's the underdog again. So going money Moicano, he's going to win this Saturday. And I keep forgetting, but here are my predictions. I'm going to go Melissa Gatto, decision, Bekoev inside distance, knockout or sub. And, obviously, and Haley Cowan, she could get a finish, man. Fuck. Haley Cowan inside distance, fuck it. And Lando decision, Costa inside distance, Guilherme Pat knockout, Buchala decision, Tommy McMillan decision, Ethan Ewing inside distance, and Abdul inside distance, Tabitha Ricci decision, and Money Moicano inside distance. Because if he gets Duncan down, dude, Moicano has really good ground and pound, and he could cut up and bust up Duncan. So those are my full card picks, predictions. If you guys like the video, make sure you guys check out my next, stuff. Be dropping my other shit for the short videos on my underdogs. But yeah, thank you guys for the support, and can't wait for this Saturday.